everyone! Today is another Lolita interview. Today I have Tempest.
Hello.
And Tempest, why don't you just introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Tempest Paige. I am 22 years old. I come from Rochester, New York, and I have been in Lolita Fashion for about a decade. Which is a long time.
Which is so hard to believe because I think I was also counting down how many years I was in Lolita or wearing Lolita, and I was like, I've seen Tempest every single year throughout my Lolita years. And also, do you want to plug anything? Right now we're recording in her shop. So.
Yeah, right now I'm recording in my shop. We're about to celebrate our 3rd anniversary as a physical store coming up in 2 weeks, so that's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And do you have like an Instagram or Twitter?
Yeah, all my handles on all social media is at Tempest Paige. I'm not very creative when coming up with usernames. So at Tempest Paige is where you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, and I'll link everything in the description box below, and then you can check it out. And you do have a YouTube channel that you're restarting?
Yeah, I'm getting into the swing of starting to make videos again. I'm getting supplies, I'm getting lighting, I'm getting a better camera, and I'm going to get into the swing of actually making videos.
So how did you find out about Lolita Fashion?
A couple things happened at the same time. I discovered Visual K. One day when I came home from school in 6th grade, my mom had went to the anime store and bought me a Kira magazine. It was a Kira Maniacs, and I know, I think Anna Tsuchiya was on the cover. And I also really liked dress-up dolls, and I discovered a dress-up doll artist that was called Sakura Fairy, and I believe her real name is Tyler, and she's still in the Lolita community now. She hand makes a lot of her dresses, and she made dress-up dolls that had Lolita fashion in it.
I was wondering, is she the one that runs Lily of the Valley?
Yes, that's her.
What a small world. Okay, go on. Sorry,
yeah, and she made like dress-up kiss dolls of like I think one of them was Tomoyo from Cardcaptor Sakura, and it was her wearing a lot of Lolita dresses, and she would like made like pixels based on like real baby dresses, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this style. So all that happened at once.
Did you ever wear Visual K?
Not really. I tried to get like some Visual K, like those like Visual K pants with like all the bondage on it and stuff, but before Lolita I was very much a mall goth. I wore nothing but trip pants. I had like 10 pairs of trip pants at one time. All I did was shop at Hot Topic. I was very much like that little weeby 11-year-old mall goth.
So when you got into Lolita, did you jump headfirst into Sweet Lolita?
No, at first I really only wanted to do goth, and my first dress, which was this really terrible dress from Ling Lam, and it was like black and purple and with terrible lace. I really liked gothic, so that was my first dress, and after that I got an aristocrat dress from Fanpo's Friend, and I didn't get my first sweet dress until, I also got it from Fanpo's Friend about like 2008. I just like, okay, I'll get one sweet dress, but I mostly want to be gothic, and then I got that dress and I was like, oh my god, I love pastels.
Did you ever wear another style afterwards, or did you just stick with?
Oh no, I didn't. It wasn't like an immediate transition. I got some brand pieces after that. I was still in middle school, and I got my first Moite skirt, and I got an Innocent World bolero, and those were both black. But then I wanted to get sweet prints, and this was when the time that OTT Sweet and prints were becoming the big thing, and that's when, you know, Miracle Candy came out, and Macaroon, and those were the ones that I really coveted. So then I started to just only get really sweet dresses.
I still remember your Miracle Candy coordinate. Like, that's the ultimate image I have of you in my head. Is that creepy? Maybe.
No, I've worn that dress so many times. And funny story, I bought that dress from Queen of Dorks, who now made Pusheen.
You know, I tell people that, I'm like, did you know the creator of Pusheen was a Lolita?
Yeah.
But that is so crazy. That
yeah, no, I got that from her. I remember she like sent me like a card and said, oh, I'm Queen of Dorks, thank you for buying me your Miracle Candy dress. And then it was like her old brand at the time, I think it was like Cute Plush or something. It was on that card, and I remember that. And I remember reading a post where someone said, oh, did you know that the girl who made Pusheen was a Lolita? And I was like, no way, I bought Miracle Candy from her.
Really small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you still have the Miracle Candy dress?
Oh yeah, no, it's the one dress I would probably never sell. It was my first print dress. It wasn't my first AP dress, but it was my first print dress. I got it at the end of 8th grade, and I remember I cashed in all my savings bonds to get it. I begged my mom to be like, Mom, I have all these savings bonds, and I really want a new Lolita dress. Like, and she let me, because it was my money, and she let me do that.
That is so crazy to think you were in middle school then, because I'm like, How old are middle schoolers?
That day, I went to take one of the New York State ELA exams.
What's ELA?
The English Language Arts, like the New York State,
I
like exams that all like the middle school kids are supposed to take. I got Miracle Candy and went to school to take that exam in Miracle Candy. I'm very lucky that no one at school has ever, like, I've gotten in trouble for some outfits, but it's never been Lolita.
I mean, did you? So you have worn Lolita to school then?
Oh yeah, I wore, the moment I got into Lolita, I wore Lolita to school. I remember when my first dress, which was a horrible lace monster, I remember we had just got back from Christmas break, and the dress hadn't come in the mail yet, but the teachers in class were like, oh, tell us what you got over Christmas, and I was telling the teacher, oh, I got this amazing dress, it's called Lolita, it's called Gothic Lolita, and I can't wait to wear it to school. And then that day it came in the mail, so like the next day I was wearing it. And at that point, like, they weren't used to me wearing weird stuff, so it wasn't out of the ordinary. And I just wore Lolita to school all the time. I stopped wearing Lolita to school sometime in the middle of high school because I had to get up at 6 in the morning to get on the bus, so that was difficult. And I had spilled red fruit punch on my Dreaming Macaroon skirt, and I was like, never again. And that was like the beginning of like me not wearing Lolita as often.
So do you have any favorite brands?
Favorite brands is Angelic Pretty.
I hope you guys can see. It says Angelic Pretty even on her.
Yeah. I'm wearing the Cherie Carnival. I think this is the first release jumper skirt. Yeah, I fought arm and a leg to like finally get Cherie Carnival, and when I finally got it, I was in tears. I think I was in 9th grade. I got the skirt first, then I somehow went from having the skirt to having the one piece and jumper skirt and the skirt, and then I ended up selling those two. I gave away the skirt on my yeah, I did a giveaway. I gave away the skirt on my Sweet Poison Cupcake Facebook page, and then I sold the one piece. But yeah, Cherie Carnival was like the holy grail for me. Like, I have to get Cherie Carnival one day. Cherie Carnival and Milky Planet were the holy grails to becoming a real sweet Lolita in my mind.
I was gonna say, do you still have Milky Planet?
I still have Milky Planet. I sold the navy re-release one piece, but I will never give away the lavender jumper skirt special set.
Oh, the special set.
Yeah, and I have the barrette with it too. So those are my babies. Like the three. If I ever would have really bought a Lolita, I would never sell Miracle Candy. I would never sell Cherie Carnival, and I would never sell Milky Planet.
Has the fashion affected you on a deeper level, or has it just been purely an aesthetic
like
thing?
changing like how I feel about myself, or
that, or yeah, I guess so.
I think in a way Lolita has made me more confident. When I'm dressed up, I feel stronger. I feel more aware of what I am because more people are staring at me. So I feel more aware of myself, and I feel like, you know, very like chin up and this is my armor. But overall, at the end of the day, Lolita has always just been clothes for me. I don't really consider myself a lifestyle styler by any means. I definitely don't have like the Lolita wardrobe. My wardrobe isn't very big. I've sold a lot of pieces over the years, so my wardrobe isn't big enough for me to like wear Lolita daily. So most of the time when I'm wearing Lolita, it's very over the top. And now trying to get back into Lolita, I'm trying to make my wardrobe more versatile because I would like to be at least a little bit of that Momoko. I can wear Lolita every day if I want to.
You know, it's funny because I also never considered myself a lifestyle Lolita until I was interviewing a friend, and she actually mentioned that, you know, we kind of imagine lifestyle Lolita to be people who wear it every day, who, you know, act a certain way too. But she's like, but Lolita affects your life in every little way. If you think about it, you're always checking auctions, you're talking to your friends about, and I'm like, my God, in that sense, I guess that can be a definition of lifestyle Lolita too.
Even when I wasn't in the community as much and I wasn't posting outfit photos, I still kept up to date on all the releases. I still was occasionally checking the community sales, and when we transitioned over to the lace market, I would still check that. I was still like had my eye out for dresses. I just wasn't really wearing Lolita as often, but I never like officially left the community. And I still don't consider myself like, oh, I was Lolita, then I stopped and now I'm getting back into it. I've always been a Lolita, just my levels of activity have waned over the years.
Is there something that you're looking for right now that's a dream item, number one on your list?
Well, I have the Nakayoshi bunny bonnet, but it's broken.
Oh.
It kind of like sags on one end, but I have nothing to wear it with, so I would love to get the jumper skirt and then I could warrant fixing the bonnet and then like have it actually be stiff and then wear that. Honey cake. I hated honey cake when it first came out, but as time has gone on, I'm like, wow, I really love pancakes, and that's a dress with pancakes on it. And which is, I never see it for sale, especially in the color I want, which is either mint or the pink. I never see it for sale. I like apron dresses, so Fruits Parlor is up on my list, especially in either the pink or mint colorway. I have the black, but I'm not really a big black wearer, so I would love to trade that in and get the pink or mint. I love macaroon, even though I already have two. I have the pink jumper skirt and I have the skirt, but I would love more of that. As far as that, I'm really more, I want more solid pieces. I only have one solid dress. Well, technically two. One of them is like a dangerous nude dress, which isn't really Lolita. I also have Angelic Pretty dress that is, I think it's called Colorful Ribbon. It has like rainbow ribbons in the bottom and it's pink and white. Those are my only two plain dresses, and I would like more plain dresses that I could wear daily and wear different ways. Because prints, you're very stuck wearing it a specific way. And you can't really dress down a print, but you can dress up or dress down a solid dress.
I still feel like you're in the Sweet Lolita realm, though.
Oh,
like,
definitely in the Sweet Lolita
pieces.
realm. Even like, I know like the current Sweet, which is like really like chiffon-y and sack dresses, I don't like it at all. I don't like sack dresses. I feel like sack dresses look terrible on me. I got a baby Lucky Pack when I was in middle school, and it had that like, that typical baby jumper skirt. It's like really high waisted, and you can't really wear like a petticoat with it. It was white and lavender, and it looked terrible on me. I felt like I was pregnant. And so like now all dresses are sack dresses and that chiffon-y material, and it's just not me. And even like Anola, the Juliet Justine, like all over print dresses with like the paintings and stuff. I'm not really into that either. If anything, I have developed more of an affinity to the Mary Magdalene, like casual, I would call it casual Marie Antoinette style dresses, like Antoinette Fleur and stuff. I do like more of that now, but like the current OTC classic and the current like sweet prints, I'm not a fan. I'm definitely stuck in between 2008 and 2012. That era of Lolita is where I'm firmly stuck in.
I feel like I'm kind of stuck in that era too when I think of Sweet Lolita. So when people are like, oh my god, OTT Sweet is dead, I'm like, I could shed a tear.
I know, it breaks my heart. I don't like a lot of like the current trends, like chiffon, peignoirs, and the... I made a staff for a dress recently for a fashion show, but like certain staffs and like flower crowns, and it's just not my personal interest in Lolita.
When you're shopping for a Lolita outfit, what do you look for?
I look for certain colors, especially stuff that will fit into my wardrobe. I like red. I look good in red.
You do? Miracle Candy.
Yeah, that's why Miracle Candy in red is my favorite. I look good in red. My mom always says, like, you look good in red, get more red dresses. And I still don't have any more red dresses.
It's hard to find a red dress.
It is. There hasn't been a good red print. And I know Magically Exhaled, the re-release, both of them are in red. That's like the only one I can really think of. I like colors that mesh with my wardrobe. So I like red. I have blue, lavender, pink, usually within that realm. I don't really have any mint dresses. I had Dreamy Dollhouse and sold it. I like food motifs. So I'm a sucker for food motifs. Even like Milky Planet and Sugar Carnival, they're kind of food themed. Just cuts that are flattering for me. I don't like baby doll dresses. I don't like sack dresses. I like something with like a bit of a defined waist. I tend to steer more towards jumper skirts. I just feel more comfortable in jumper skirts as opposed to one pieces and skirts. Especially like getting into Lolita, like especially because I got into it at such a young age. I was very, very skinny at 12. And then going through puberty at a later age, I wasn't as skinny anymore, so I don't feel as comfortable in skirts as I do jumper skirts. So jumper skirts definitely are my preference. Jumper skirts in pastel-y colors that I think go well with my wardrobe.
That's interesting you mentioned skirts because a lot of people, actually a lot of advice I saw when I first got into wearing Lolita was if you're a bit bigger, then wear skirts, so you wouldn't recommend...
Just in my experience, I never heard that advice. The one skirt that I do have is macaroon, and I do notice that like when it started getting tight on me, I felt very uncomfortable. And that skirt's pretty small. And like I can still fit into it now, but it's definitely not like what it was when I was like a 14-year-old in high school, and it was just as loose as ever on me because I weighed nothing. And, I never heard that advice. I'm not saying it isn't true because I just don't have that many skirts. I've only ever owned like 3 Lolita skirts, but personally, I just feel more comfortable in a jumper skirt. I just feel like a jumper skirt's more flattering on me than a skirt.
Why not a one piece then?
One pieces are tight in the arms.
Oh, yeah,
that's another reason. One pieces are tight in the arms. That's one of the reasons why I sold Milky Planet, and I still have the Fruits Parlor one piece, but it's a little tight in the arms. And also, like I have like photo progression of me getting older and getting bigger throughout the year. So like when I first got I first got Miracle Candy, I had like this much arm space, and you could see like my little chicken arms. There's like just a sea of fabric around it, and now I fill up the whole armhole. So I just don't want to like have that day where I try on an angelic free dress and I can't fit it. Like I know that will just personally be devastating to me. So I try to avoid one pieces. Also, I just feel like one pieces are harder to coordinate and be versatile with. I feel like at least with jumper skirts you can change the color of your blouse. But with one pieces, you're kind of limited to just putting on cardigans.
Is there anything that you particularly dislike about the fashion, whether it's aesthetics? I mean, I know you mentioned you don't really like the new sweet look or even the community, etc.
About the community, things that like I dislike, I think the community is a little cliquey. Like people have like certain popular people just have like their cliques that like they have a lot of friends and they just kind of like click together, if that makes sense. But like there's people mention like CGL and like hate sites and stuff, and I've seen the evolution of many. Like I was on LiveJournal when Lolita Fashion was still around. I was on LiveJournal when getoffegl was still around, and even like those like they're bad, but I don't consider them like the worst part about Lolita. I just consider it inevitable of any online subculture that there will be. I don't want to say hate communities, but like gossip communities and stuff. It's inevitable. It's in every community. Like we saw it in Yaru. And we see it, I mean, I don't want to say like alarme, but like CGL threads on alarme, like people do nitpick at each other a little bit and gossip about each other. And so it's inevitable, I think, of any online subculture. Even if you get out of fashion, like certain fandoms, like Harry Potter fandom, Marvel fandom, it's inevitable. So I don't consider that like a bad part about Lolita. I think it's inevitable. So as far as stuff I dislike about Lolita, it's expensive.
That is true. Do you think that it doesn't warrant the cost that it does?
No, I've never gotten a dress and been like, this isn't worth it. So no, I definitely think the quality of the dress, the fact that you can buy a dress and resell it, like they still contain value, as opposed to like certain brand names where you could get something really expensive and like you won't be able to resell it for that price. Like something like Unif or something where it's like $100 for a sweater and you're not going to be able to resell it for that 2 years on the line, but I could resell Sugar Carnival and still get my money's worth. So even though it's expensive, I think in the long run it's worth it. Now, individual brands, people might have their opinions that, oh, this brand's overrated or this brand's overrated. I'm happy with everything I own. I've seen dresses by Meta, I've seen Moite pieces, I've seen AP, I've seen Baby. I'm happy with everything that I've seen. I've never seen something and been like, oh, that's cheap. Unless it's like Bodyline, but even then, it's like not that expensive. So I'm not like mad. Except purses. Purses. I had an AP purse that fell apart, and that made me angry. They don't function. You can't open them. You can't hold things in them. I had the candy bag, and like the bows on the front fell off, and like I could never open it to fit. Like, and this is when phones were still tiny. Like I had like a tiny like LG Lollipop because Big Bang featured it in their song. And I wanted the phone Top had, so I had to get that phone, and I couldn't even fit that in there. So I was like, it's not worth it. It's literally just for aesthetics. So I ended up selling it, but. Yeah, that's the only part where I'm like, oh, the bags aren't worth it. Everything else is kind of quality, though.
That's true. I mean, I guess it's kind of worth it if you want it as an accessory, you know, just another part of your coordinate that's not functional. Yeah. But I think one issue that I actually heard of was there was a Montier Silent Moon bag, and I think someone accidentally got like water on it or something. And I'm like, you know, usually you could just kind of brush the water off, but it faded the print. And I was like, well, how? I know that's what I said. I'm like, what kind of material, like screen printing material did they use?
Yeah, they can't handle just a little bit of water. I know some AP prints run. I've never had that in my experience. I get most of my stuff dry cleaned. The only things I've hand washed are my macaroon dresses because they're that canvasy material. I've never experienced anything running.
Oh, I'm totally the YOLO person where it's like, it's going in the wash and I'll deal with the consequences. So what do you think about the concept of leaving Lolita?
Like, I understand why people would leave Lolita, and like I've never like personally like felt like I need to like announce I'm leaving Lolita, because I just never felt like I needed to leave the community. It's just clothes that I love, and I may not be active, but I'm still in Lolita. I'm still a Lolita. But some people, like, the fashion has more personal ties to them, and they feel the need to like cut off completely, especially if in their perspective the community is toxic. They might feel the need to like cut off completely and sell all their stuff, and you know that's their prerogative. I'm not gonna like judge them and say like, oh, they're not real Lolitas, they really love the style, because at the end of the day it's just clothes, and if someone feels unsafe or unhappy, then do what makes you happy. And if selling off all your clothes makes you happy, then go right ahead, and also do it at a cheap price so I can get some stuff.
Not gonna lie, whenever there is like a leaving Lolita sale, I'm just like
I think it's just like conditioning from EGL where it's like
I'm leaving, and I'm just like, yes, get
Yeah.
that sugary carnival.
Yeah, it's discount price. It's like a sale, like a clothes store clothing sale, liquidation, everything. Let's go.
Exactly. So do you actually partake in part of a community?
I participate like online, like other Lolitas. I'll comment on like Lolita related subjects. Locally, our community is pretty small, and we're not very active, especially now that I have a store now, and all the meetups are on weekends. I am here usually, and I can't like close the store for a meetup and stuff. So like the most I get like participation in the local Lolita community is if like I hold an International Lolita Day event here, and that's like the closest I'm able to like get contact with the community, because most of the time like the meetups are like really last minute and I can't get like close the store, and like our biggest money making weekends are our biggest money making time is the weekend, so we have to be open on the weekends, and so I'm kind of distanced from the local community. It's mostly small, and most of the people who were in the community when I first got into the community, they all like moved away, they left, they got married, they just aren't really into Lolita anymore. So like in terms of like the local community, I'm probably the most long-term member. I am the ancient dinosaur. Even though like I'm a lot younger than a lot of the people in it, I've just gotten to Lolita at such a young age that like I feel really old, but I'm not.
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh god, because you said you're 23, right?
I'm 22.
22, and you're the oldest. Oh my god.
It'll be my 10-year anniversary of my first EGL post and my live journal account in October.
Do you think that there is an advantage to being part of a Lolita community?
I think if you're part of a Lolita community, one, you have someone to talk to, someone to let you know, hey, there's a sale, hey, I saw your favorite dress for sale. But also, if you're, I think, a lonely Lolita, it can, well, just get that. It'll get lonely, and, you know, you might, like, you know, feel weirder when you're wearing it out alone and you get stared at. Like, there is strength in numbers, and I feel people might be more polite to you. Like, I never had a rude experience when in a community setting. I've never had someone be mean to me in a community setting, like outsiders like commenting on what I'm wearing. But like when I'm by myself, like I get rude comments all the time. So there's like a bit of a strength in numbers, and I think that being part of a community, you know, you're more in touch with what's going on in the style, and you know you get to talk about stuff you like, and you can make friends from it. It's up to what someone really wants, like what kind of person someone is. You're more introverted and you're really just here for the clothes, like you may not want to be part of the community. So it's up to a person and what someone wants out of the Lolita community, what someone wants out of the fashion. I personally, I like the community. I like being able to talk about the fashion. I like being able to go to meetups and see other people wearing clothes.
Were you ever scared to post online or to go to your first meetup?
Oh, no, absolutely. I was terrified. My first experience with Lolita technically wasn't even on LiveJournal. There was this like weird, I don't even know how I found it, but there was this site that I guess copied the Lolita, like the Lolita handbook, the LiveJournal Lolita handbook. Like they copied all of the posts and like made it on their own website.
Okay.
And like I was a member of their forums, and like I posted like horrible outfits that like I thought were Lolita, but they weren't. And the site ended up getting trolled. Like I remember getting like it eventually got hacked and like redirected to Lemon Party.
Oh.
And like people, because it got posted to Getoffegl. I found the post later, and like people like started flooding the forums and telling us like, this isn't Lolita, Ida, everyone looks terrible, you're all ugly. And like that was my first community, like real interaction with Lolita Fashion. I was terrified. I was like, oh god. And even when I bought my first Lolita dress, I still knew it was bad. I still knew what made a good Lolita dress and what made a bad Lolita dress. But I was 12, and my mom was new to buying Lolita stuff, and I didn't have my own bank account or anything, and she only really knew like what to buy on eBay. And the clothes were really expensive, and so that's the first dress I got. And I said, well, okay, well, I'll get this and just deal with the consequences. But I knew it was bad. I knew what made Lolita dress a bad Lolita dress. Like I knew like bad lace and like all that stuff, but I still ended up getting it.
Do you ever have this moment when you're putting on, or maybe even coming up with a coordinate, and you know in your head what's a good coordinate, but still sometimes like you put something on and you're just like, what did I just do?
Oh, there are so many times that like I wear something and I know like exactly what's gonna get criticized or nitpicked. Like probably like about this outfit here, like I'm wearing like bright pink socks.
Oh, people.
And I know people are gonna be like, oh, those socks don't go with that outfit. Like you probably should get lavender socks. Well, I don't have lavender socks. I have to make do with pink.
No, I totally did that too when I wore the lavender sugary carnival.
So like sometimes I know and I don't care, because at the end of the day like it's just online nitpicking and it's not the end of the world, and sometimes like they're right. Like my last dress got posted to the COF frills thread on CGO,
Oh.
and someone said, like, everyone just said, oh, I don't like that wig, and oh, her dress isn't fluffy enough, and I was like, yeah, well, I can't go back in time and change that. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't agree with the hair. I'm very proud of that wig. I teased it to him in perfection, and if I wore that wig in 2010, everyone would have loved it. But I agree, I should have had more petticoats, but it was a fashion show event, and a lot of our petticoats went to the other girls, so I sacrificed being fluffier so that the other models look good. I can admit when a criticism is correct. I might get defensive about it on the outside, but on the inside, at the end of the day, like, I really just want my coordinates to be praised online, and I really just want, you know, I want that approval, even if it is from someone anonymous on CGL, or if it is from people on Closet of Frills. I do want that approval. I want, you know, to get that, hey, that's a good outfit. But that doesn't mean, like, posting isn't any less scary. Man, I remember posting on Daily Lolita, and, like, one time, I guess this one member, like, really disliked me. I don't remember what their username was. I want to say but they did not like me for some reason. And I remember I posted an outfit, and they were just like, cut your bangs.
Oh my god, you know, it's so funny because I'm like kind of online acquaintances with her.
Oh no, like, that was so long ago. I'm not holding any grudges. I always remember that comment. And like, like, even when I'm wearing a wig, I just remember, cut your bangs. I'm like, oh shoot, okay.
No, but I feel like back then we were all so different, and I think all of us kind of grew up too, because you were in it when you were in middle school, and I was in, I think, early college, so I think we all kind of grew up to how to take online criticism. I don't know if you feel like that.
Yeah, I feel like the average age of the community back then was a bit younger. Like, I was really, really young. Like, I skewed way young, but most of the people in the community was either, like, late high school, college. So, like, yeah, there's still definitely that immaturity at that age, and you know, I'm 22 now. Like, I'm the age now that most of the people I looked up to were back then, and like, I can see, like, myself, like, starting to like grow up and like, oh, like, drama communities, it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, it's just clothes.
That's how I feel too, because I think now, of course, like, when you get a mean comment, it hurts still, but I think now I do take it a lot better myself too, and I do care a lot less. I know one time I did actually go on CGL when they happened to have been talking about me, and I was just like, that's not true. Like, I was getting, like, defensive by myself. I'm like, oh, why are they saying that about me? And I'm like, calm down.
Yeah, like, I used to get really upset about CGL posts about me, and now, like, I can just look back and laugh. Like, I think one of my favorite comments was someone said I had a soul-sucking vagina.
What?
And that's the funniest thing in the world. It's like, it was like an inside joke between me and my friends. And like, someone also said that my real name was Stephanie, because like, everyone tried to say, oh, she's lying about her age, she's lying about her name, and stuff like that. Also, when I first got my first mannequin for like selling clothes at conventions, someone posted me on CGL and said like, oh, that girl's so rich, she has a mannequin. And I'm like, is a mannequin the standard of wealth? When did that happen?
Oh my god, I'm dying.
But no, I remember all those. They were hilarious. I can look back fondly on some of the stuff CGL said. Like, I know at the time, like, I was hurt. I was devastated by some of the comments that CGL left, especially when I started gaining weight as I aged. Like, those really stung. And even after I got out of Lolita and, like, I wore other clothes because I was getting bigger and my body was changing. I was bustier, I was curvier, and I stopped wearing Lolita a lot because I felt uncomfortable, also because I didn't want those inevitable comments, like, reminding me of something I already know. Like, yeah, I know I gained weight. I'm not as skinny as I was when I was 13. They still, like, would post pictures of, like, my selfies and, like, criticize my eyebrows, or, like, my Jessica Rabbit cosplay. I wore a corset with it, and, like, there was, like, a lot of noticeable, like, I guess skin and fat, like, between, like, the corset and the dress, and, like, there was, like, a noticeable, like, bulge there, and they would comment that, and, like, compare me to Yaya Han. They're like, oh, she's just, like, a dollar store Yaya Han, and I'm like, that's a compliment. That's a compliment. I remember those comments, and, like, yeah, they hurt at the time, but now I can look back at them, like, I've grown now. I have leveled up as a person, and I can look back at them, and, like, they weren't that big of a deal.
Thank you, CGL, for making us stronger.
Yeah. I genuinely appreciate it. I appreciate the, like, Lolita hate communities and all that stuff, like, for making me a stronger person and also making me, like, understand. Because when I first got posted to hate communities, my first initial response as someone who was stupid and 12 was to join them myself and be mean to people too. Because my thing was, if you can't make them like you, join them and be on their side. Be like them. Be a bitch like them. And I would do that. I started a community for Lolitas on Crunchyroll, and I was the biggest bitch bitch on the planet. I was horrible to people. I tore people to pieces when they posted outfits. I was like, no, you have to wear brand, and that's bad lace, and you can't get your outfit from eBay, you moron. And because that was the behavior I thought was right. And it wasn't right, and I posted people to get off EGL, and I posted people to Lolita Fucks because I thought that was the right thing to do. And no, it wasn't the right thing to do. But I was 12, and I was 12, and in my mind, the members of Get Off EGL and Lolita Fucks, they were the cool mean girls that I wanted to be. They were the cool mean girls. They were all established members of the community, and they all had closets full of brand, and they all looked cool, and I wanted to be like that too. So I joined them. I started posting people, I think like maybe a month after I was posting myself. I did it immediately. I wasted no time at all joining the community and being mean to people too. And you know, I regret that. I do regret like being mean like that, but at the same time I understand the mentality behind it. I understand the allure of drama and gossip, and I don't think it's something that like is horrible to the Lolita community. Like I know there was a big movement online to like stop Lolita bullying. And I don't think that like Lolita hate community is the end of the world, and I don't think there's like a huge bullying problem in Lolita, especially now. The community now compared to what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago is so much nicer and so much more pleasant.
Even CGL is nicer too.
Yeah, CGL is so much nicer now.
I was like, oh god, I haven't been back like since the months like that one time I checked, but I just remember being like, people are so much nicer now.
No, people are much nicer, especially in closet of real threads. Like people can get nitpicky, and like people, like it's 4chan, so like it's inevitable you're gonna get like the scourge of the earth, like racist comments, sexist comments, definitely stuff that's not like the norm now, especially now that people are much more socially conscious now about, you know, what people's gender and race and sexual identity is. But it's still a lot more nicer and positive and constructive a community than what it was years ago.
I think what's great now is that people don't really make up things about people anymore.
Yeah, there's no big rumors. Like even people who are like popular in the community, people aren't like purposely gossiping about them anymore, or coming up with nasty rumors or trying to tear them to pieces. I sold a pair of shoes. Most of this happened when I was asleep, because when I sold stuff online when I was younger, it was my mom really doing it. Like it went to her PayPal and it went to her email because I was 13. I didn't have a bank account or a PayPal or anything like that. So I had sold a pair of like dusty rose bodyline shoes, and I sent them to the girl, and I guess she got them, and I guess like there was stains that I wasn't clear enough about, and so she got mad, and then she thought she was talking to me, but she was actually talking to my mom, and her and my mom went back and forth about it, and my mom ended up refunding her the shoes and an extra $15.
Wow.
And then the girl still left a bad mark about me, and her and someone else in the Lolita community who, they're gone now, but I remember the username. They talked about me being a 13-year-old whore who sold my used panties. Like really, like you, and then like I remember like there was the CGL thread about it too, and someone had photoshopped like a picture of me as like a white knight. Like it was there's a horrible picture of me in like the 7th grade where I have like really high pigtails, and they photoshopped like my face and my pigtails coming out of the knight's armor, and I'm on a horse, and they photoshopped a picture of my dog snarling as the horse head, and they photoshopped the shoes into his mouth.
What?
I wish I still had that picture, because like thinking back on it like now, that's hilarious, and also like really petty. Like you got your money back, and why is there all this drama? Like I refunded you. I still like get really mad when I see like something that's dusty rose color. So I think about those shoes. I think about what happened. I'm like, I get so mad. I think I might still have those shoes somewhere. She ended up sending them back to me, and I ended up throwing them away. I think that girl ended up getting in trouble. I think she ended up being a scammer or something. I remember like checking back on like Get Off EGL like a year later or more, and like she had gotten in trouble and like her journal was purged. But like I remember the mean comments. I don't sell used panties. I was 13.
I like how this clarification needs to be made after 10 years.
I know, like I'm just letting everybody know now. I did not sell used panties. I don't know what shoes and used panties have to go with each other.
I feel like the clickbait title should be
Yeah.
like, I don't sell used panties.
Tempest Paige doesn't sell used panties. Or does she?